Okay, so we're just going to recap on the stuff that we've done. So we started off with the stick, looking at delay of the limbs. So we're picking up this motion here. Okay. And we started looking at the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist, and how it the sequential delay of the arm works. And then we started to add the hip. So the hip works, then the shoulder, then the elbow, then the wrist, then the hip. And then we looked at foot. Foot, hip, then shoulder, then elbow, then wrist. Okay? And we're trying to look at this figure eight motion. Okay? With the idea of bringing it back to this figure eight motion here that you see in 9-inch there. Alright? And then we looked at applying that motion, or seeing how it kind of works in different scenarios. We were looking at this angled shot down across this shape, this L shape across the body, anywhere along here. Okay, just from an angled position like this, and working the body, you get a nice shocking hit on the pad from a short range. So using these gross motor functions, or these big functions, and then bringing them closer and closer, and smaller, so we can get a lot of impetus on that pad from a very short range. Okay. Then we looked at the idea of this retraction as well, because of course we can use retraction as a second strike, or we can use it as a transition as well. So if I'm in a position where I'm slapping across people's heads from here, his head is naturally going to fall down. So then if I follow up with an index here, I can then start hitting down on that angle there. So we apply that on the pads from this position, one, index, okay, there, and then hitting down this way. Okay, so here, one, two, again, he hit first, then the hand in this position, one, and then the index is part of the transition to come back through. Okay. First of all, this idea of getting to the outside of the opponent and how we could do that. Because if I can get to the outside, I'm relatively safe, but the mechanics of getting to the outside also turn my hip this way, which means I can bring it back to hit. So it's a really useful mechanic. So it could be that he's doing a hook punch and I'm coming from here. It could be that we're in a clinch position and I'm trying to arm drive. Or it could be that I'm just in a position here and I just move to the side of him like this. Okay, I just take the initiative and shift to the side, so I've got a point of advantage. Either way, I'm getting to the outside. So say it goes a hook punch from here, swing this arm to get to this position, and then come back and hit from here. And we looked at shocking impact, and then we looked at curling the fingers a little bit and raking it across the face as it comes through as well. Okay, so just causing more kind of trauma to the face and the eye area. Okay. Then after that, we looked at the same mechanic, but taking it into a head takedown. So as I'm hitting, rather than striking through this time, what I'm doing is I'm sticking to him. Okay, I stick with one hand and I hit with the other one and bring it in towards my chest like this. Okay, so I've got quite a percussive movement there. It's not a case of just a nice smooth movement. It's kind of yeah, hit and then pull in really sharp as well. Able to hit with the shoulder too, so I'm getting 3 incidental shots there. Okay, then grabbing from here and using the body to turn, take it down from that position. If we're kind of here, this is a problem for me because I need to be able to strike with it. I can't strike with this one because of this. Okay, so it's tied up here. So this is about, we started looking at how the fork the receiving movements can be used as well. So by using an agiyuki movement, so bringing the hand in and up like this, it can be used to pass this arm onto the outside like this. Okay. On the other side, even if he's pinned this arm pretty tight, I can still do stuff with his hand. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just mess with his face a little bit. While that's pinned, I can use that as a pivot. So I can still bring this arm over like this. Okay. So over here, doesn't matter how tight this pin is, I can still pin this arm around and shoot it underneath. Once I get that, I can get this arm here, I can arm drive across. Once I've got that arm drive, then I can put these shots again and back to where I was. Get into this position, and then using the body mechanics to look at attacking the joints. So it would be ideally if I had this hand free. So one of the best ways of getting that position will be to start gouging his eyes. Because guaranteed, if I start to do that, he's going to lift his hand up and try to grab my wrist and push it away from his face. Okay, it's a natural response. So as I do that, and he pulls this here, this gives me a great opportunity. So what I'm going to do is when I rotate my hips really sharp, as I do that, I've got two things happening. This arm's just going to drop straight down, and from here it's just going to pop that off. So I'm not doing anything fine motor with this. I'm not trying to manipulate his wrist or do any wrist lock. I'm just going to turn it down like that. So I'm using my body to do that. Okay, just thinking I'm alright. This hand here, as I rotate, I'm just going to clamp anywhere near his elbow and literally just literally yank from there. Okay, so I'm just causing a lot of damage here on the elbow joint. Both of those actions at the same time. So I'm here, comes as he pushes, as he gives some energy, I just boom like this. Okay, to get this hand free. Okay, if I get an impact on this, it's a bonus. And then as I come back to just using that straight one more time. Okay, just looking at this side. So I'm here. If this is in this position, I just do what I need to get to here. Okay, and then start attacking the eye. As he pushes from here, I just out, impact from this position, and then hit. Okay. The idea being that any type of movement, I want it to be percussive movement. Okay, I want to create as much trauma as possible on the opponent. This is the way karate is used in self-defense. Every drill that we do in karate has its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so sometimes you get called, that drill isn't realistic, but it may be just because you're trying to draw out certain attributes that you can't really practice in a more realistic sense until you've got them down, until you've developed them a bit more. So we have to put some sort of control measures in place. When we look at push hands drill, for instance, and the arms are coming backwards and forwards like this, this isn't very realistic. You don't see this outside of a pump, do you? It never happens that way. But what you are doing is you're developing certain attributes. So what we can do is we can use these drills to enable to give us the sensitivity to understand the reference points to get us into those applications we were doing earlier. Okay? So we knew from this strike, whether I'm striking, head takedown, whether I'm doing an arm drag, whether it's a clinch, what I'm after is this mechanic there. Even if I'm doing this, it's the same mechanic, isn't it? I'm twisting my hips and I'm getting onto the outside of the opponent. So we can start putting that into the push hands drill to get us to understand how to get there with flow, okay, rather than being disjointed. And of course, it would never be that fluid in reality. But what you're able to do is to pick up those skills and develop them in a controlled environment. So then it just enhances your ability when you come to do more of this. Okay. So from this push hand drill, he comes towards me, I'm trying to do a pass, I come towards him, he gives me a pass. And basically what we're doing is Sotuki, this way, Sotuki, this way. If I pass straight back at him again, now when he passes, I'm on the inside of his limb. So sometimes I could be here, or I could be here, depending on where I'm at. So if I'm in this position now, and I pass towards him, he pushes, and go, okay, look, I'm on the outside now. If I pass this way, I'm on the inside. So I've got a limb coming towards me, and I can either be connected here, or connected here. And all I'm going to do now is look at how to get that reference point from there. So if I'm connected here, as he pushes towards me, I'm going to use that energy, I'm going to scoop underneath, just drop the arm around. Okay? And the key for this is to do it as you're pushing in, like that. Not to do it like this. Right, so I'm there, and then here. But you don't want that delay, right? You want to try and preempt it. Same as if I'm on the outside, it's pointless to me now trying to come right around to get that, because he's already there pretty much. So all I'm going to do now is, as he comes across, I'm just going to use my arm onto the back of the elbow, and I'm just going to drop the arm like that. And it's just going to have the same effect. It's going to get out of there. Okay? So I'm either scooping and throwing arms to get that mechanic, or I'm jumping it like that. Okay, depending on where I'm at. So if he comes this way, if I'm doing it on the right side, I'm in this position now, I'm on the inside, as he pushes. So I can just come around and do that. Okay? Again. Forward, 1, 2, 3, here. Now I'm on the outside, there's a pass. Do that. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I want to do is to work through that push hands drill. Again, one person lead, and find a point where you can get to that reference point. Then just go back into the drill and get the other person to do the same. Just go backwards and forwards, left hand, right hand, and try and maintain some continuity of flow. Okay?